Introduction to Anatomy and Physiology. Anatomy is the scientific study of the body's structures, examining the physical relationships between different body parts. It explores the macroscopic features visible to the naked eye, such as organs and bones, as well as microscopic structures like cells and tissues. Understanding anatomy involves identifying, classifying, and describing the various components that make up an organism. This foundational knowledge is crucial for comprehending how the body is built and organized. Physiology, on the other hand, is the scientific study of the functions and mechanisms within a living system. It investigates how body parts work, individually and in concert, to maintain life. This field explores the chemical and physical processes that occur at the cellular, tissue, organ, and systemic levels. Anatomy and physiology are inextricably linked. Structure dictates function, and function influences structure, making their combined study essential for a holistic understanding of the human body. Levels of structural organization. The human body exhibits a hierarchical organization, starting from the simplest chemical level and progressing to the complex organismal level. This hierarchy begins with atoms, which combine to form molecules, the basic building blocks of all matter. Molecules then aggregate to form organelles, specialized structures within cells that perform specific functions. Understanding these levels helps to break down the complexity of the human body into manageable components. Cells are the fundamental units of life, and groups of similar cells working together form tissues, each with a specialized role. Different tissues then combine to create organs, such as the heart or stomach, which perform complex functions. Organs cooperate within organ systems, like the digestive or circulatory system, to carry out major bodily functions. Finally, all these systems integrate to form a complete, functioning organism, demonstrating the remarkable complexity and coordination within the human body. Anatomical terminology and body planes. Precise anatomical terminology is essential for clear communication among healthcare professionals and scientists. Terms like anterior, front, and posterior, back, superior, above and inferior, below, and medial, towards the midline, and lateral, away from the midline, provide standardized directions. Other terms, such as proximal, closer to the point of attachment, and distal, further from the point of attachment, are used for limbs. These terms ensure that descriptions of body parts and their locations are universally understood, regardless of the body's actual position. Body planes are imaginary flat surfaces that pass through the body, dividing it into sections for anatomical study. The sagittal plane divides the body into left and right portions, with the mid-sagittal plane specifically dividing it into equal halves. The frontal, coronal plane divides the body into anterior and posterior portions, separating the front from the back. The transverse, horizontal or axial plane divides the body into superior and inferior portions. Creating upper and lower sections, these planes are crucial for visualizing internal structures and understanding their spatial relationships. Body cavities and membranes. The human body contains several internal cavities that house and protect vital organs. The dorsal body cavity includes the cranial cavity, which encases the brain, and the vertebral spinal cavity, which encloses the spinal cord. These cavities provide a protective bony environment for the central nervous system. The ventral body cavity is much larger and anteriorly located, further subdivided into thoracic and abdominopelvic cavities, separated by the diaphragm. Understanding these divisions helps in localizing organs and understanding their protective environments. The thoracic cavity contains the heart and lungs, protected by the rib cage. It is further divided into the pleural cavities, each housing a lung, and the mediastinum containing the heart, esophagus, and trachea. The abdominopelvic cavity extends from the diaphragm to the groin, and encompasses the abdominal cavity, housing digestive organs, and the pelvic cavity, containing reproductive and excretory organs. Serous membranes line these ventral body cavities and cover the organs within them, reducing friction and providing lubrication. These membranes, like the pleura, pericardium, and peritoneum are crucial for organ function and protection. Epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, or epithelium, forms the covering of all body surfaces, lines body cavities and hollow organs, and is the major tissue in glands. It is characterized by closely packed cells with very little extracellular material, forming continuous sheets. Epithelial tissues have a free, apical surface exposed to the exterior of the body or to the lumen of an internal organ, and a basal surface attached to an underlying basement membrane. This arrangement allows them to perform diverse functions such as protection, secretion, absorption, and filtration. Epithelial tissues are classified based on their cell shape and the number of cell layers. Common shapes include squamous, flat, cuboidal, cube-shaped, and columnar, column-shaped. They can be simple, single layer of cells, or stratified, multiple layers of cells. For example, simple squamous epithelium is ideal for diffusion in the lungs, while stratified squamous epithelium provides protection in the skin. Glandular epithelium forms glands that produce and secrete substances like hormones or sweat, showcasing the functional diversity stemming from structural variations. Connective tissue. Connective tissue is the most abundant and widely distributed of the primary tissues, serving to bind, support, protect, insulate, and transport substances. Unlike epithelium, connective tissue typically has cells scattered within an extracellular matrix, which consists of ground substance and protein fibers. This matrix is a defining feature, giving connective tissues their diverse physical properties. From the flexibility of loose connective tissue to the rigidity of bone, the composition of the matrix determines the tissue's specific function. There are several types of connective tissue, each with specialized functions. Loose connective tissue, such as areolar tissue, provides flexible support and fills spaces between organs. Dense connective tissue, found in tendons and ligaments, offers strong, rope-like support. Cartilage provides flexible support and reduces friction in joints. Bone tissue forms the skeletal framework, providing structural support and protection. Blood, a fluid connective tissue, transports nutrients, gases, and waste throughout the body. Adipose tissue, or fat, stores energy and insulates the body, highlighting the broad roles of this tissue type. Muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is specialized for contraction, enabling movement, maintaining posture, and generating heat. Its cells, known as muscle fibers, contain contractile proteins, actin and myosin, that slide past each other, causing the cells to shorten. This unique property allows muscles to exert force and produce mechanical work. The organization of these contractile proteins varies among the different types of muscle tissue, leading to distinct functional characteristics. Understanding these cellular mechanisms is key to comprehending muscle function. There are three main types of muscle tissue: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscle is responsible for voluntary movements, attaching to bones and allowing locomotion. It is characterized by its striated appearance and multinucleated cells. Cardiac muscle is found only in the heart and is responsible for pumping blood. It is also striated but involuntary, with branch cells. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of internal organs like the intestines and blood vessels, controlling involuntary movements such as digestion and blood flow. It lacks striations and has a single nucleus per cell, reflecting its distinct functional roles. Nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is highly specialized for communication, forming the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Its primary function is to generate and transmit electrical signals, allowing for rapid communication between different parts of the body. This tissue enables us to perceive stimuli, process information, and initiate responses. The intricate network of nervous tissue is responsible for all sensory input, motor output, and cognitive functions, making it central to our interaction with the environment. Its unique cellular structure facilitates this rapid signal transmission. Nervous tissue is composed of two main cell types, neurons and neuroglia. Neurons, or nerve cells, are the excitable cells responsible for transmitting nerve impulses. They consist of a cell body, dendrites, receiving signals, and an axon, transmitting signals. Neuroglia, or glial cells, are non-excitable supporting cells that protect, nourish, and insulate neurons. They play crucial roles in maintaining the environment around neurons, regulating neurotransmitter levels, and assisting in nerve impulse transmission. The coordinated action of neurons and neuroglia is vital for the proper functioning of the nervous system. Skin, structure, and function. The integumentary system, primarily composed of the skin, is the body's largest organ and serves as a crucial protective barrier. It defends against physical trauma, pathogens, and harmful UV radiation, while also preventing dehydration. The skin plays a vital role in regulating body temperature through sweating and blood flow adjustments. Furthermore, it houses sensory receptors that allow us to perceive touch, pressure, pain, and temperature. Connecting us to our external environment, its multifaceted functions are essential for maintaining homeostasis. The skin consists of two main layers, the epidermis and the dermis. The epidermis, the outermost layer, is composed of stratified squamous epithelium and is responsible for protection. It contains keratinocytes, which produce keratin for strength, and melanocytes, which produce melanin for UV protection. The dermis, located beneath the epidermis, is a thicker layer of connective tissue containing blood vessels, nerves, hair follicles, and glands. It provides strength, elasticity, and nourishment to the epidermis. A subcutaneous layer, hypodermis, primarily composed of adipose tissue, lies beneath the dermis, insulating the body and storing energy. Accessory structures of the skin. The skin is complemented by several accessory structures that enhance its functions, including hair, nails, and various glands. Hair, composed of dead keratinized cells, provides insulation, protection from UV radiation, and sensory perception through associated nerve endings. Each hair grows from a follicle embedded in the dermis, and tiny erector pili muscles cause hairs to stand erect, trapping air for insulation. These structures collectively contribute to the body's overall protective and sensory capabilities, demonstrating the intricate design of the integumentary system. Nails are protective coverings on the ends of fingers and toes made of densely packed, keratinized epidermal cells. They protect the digits and aid in grasping small objects. The skin also contains several types of glands. Sebaceous glands produce sebum, an oily substance that lubricates skin and hair, preventing dryness and inhibiting bacterial growth. Sweat glands, sudoriferous glands, produce sweat, which helps regulate body temperature through evaporative cooling and excretes some waste products. These accessory structures are vital for maintaining skin health, body temperature, and sensory awareness. Bone tissue and skeletal organization. Bone tissue, or osseous tissue, is a hard, dense connective tissue that forms the rigid framework of the body, the skeleton. It provides structural support, protects vital organs, and serves as an attachment point for muscles, facilitating movement. Bones also play a crucial role in mineral storage, particularly calcium and phosphate, and house red bone marrow, where blood cell formation, hematopoiesis, occurs. This dynamic tissue is constantly remodeling, adapting to stresses, and maintaining mineral homeostasis, highlighting its active biological role. The adult human skeleton consists of 206 bones, organized into two main divisions, the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton forms the central axis of the body, including the skull, vertebral column, and thoracic cage, providing protection for the brain, spinal cord, and vital organs. The appendicular skeleton comprises the bones of the upper and lower limbs, as well as the pectoral, shoulder, and pelvic girdles, which attach the limbs to the axial skeleton. This division allows for both robust protection and extensive mobility, showcasing the dual functions of the skeletal system. Axial skeleton. The axial skeleton forms the longitudinal axis of the body, providing central support and protection for the brain, spinal cord, and organs within the thoracic cavity. It consists of 80 bones, including the skull, vertebral column, and thoracic cage. The skull, composed of cranial and facial bones, encases the brain and forms the face, providing attachment points for facial muscles. Its complex structure ensures maximum protection for the delicate brain tissue, while also housing sensory organs. Understanding the skull's intricate sutures and foramina is key to appreciating its protective and functional roles. The vertebral column, or spine, extends from the skull to the pelvis, providing flexible support for the body and protecting the spinal cord. It consists of 33 vertebrae: cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal, separated by intervertebral discs that absorb shock. The thoracic cage, formed by the sternum and 12 pairs of ribs, encloses and protects the heart and lungs, playing a vital role in respiration. These components of the axial skeleton work together to maintain posture, facilitate movement, and safeguard the most critical internal structures, showcasing remarkable biomechanical efficiency. Appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton consists of the bones of the upper and lower limbs, along with the pectoral, shoulder, and pelvic girdles that attach these limbs to the axial skeleton. This division is primarily responsible for movement and manipulation of objects in the environment. The pectoral girdle, formed by the clavicle and scapula, provides a flexible attachment for the upper limb, allowing for a wide range of motion. Its design prioritizes mobility over stability, enabling complex arm and hand movements. Understanding its structure is key to comprehending upper limb kinetics. The upper limbs include the humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges, enabling diverse actions from lifting to fine motor skills. The pelvic girdle, composed of the two hip bones, ossa coxae, provides a strong and stable attachment for the lower limbs, supporting the weight of the upper body. Its structure emphasizes stability and weight-bearing, crucial for locomotion. The lower limbs consist of the femur, patella, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges, designed for locomotion, support, and balance. The appendicular skeleton's design reflects a balance between strength, flexibility, and mobility, crucial for human activity. Joints and articulations. Joints or articulations are sites where two or more bones meet, allowing for various degrees of movement or providing stable connections. They are crucial for the flexibility and mobility of the skeleton, enabling activities from walking to fine motor tasks. Joints are classified structurally based on the type of connective tissue binding the bones and the presence or absence of a joint cavity. This classification helps in understanding their mechanical properties and potential for movement. The design of each joint is optimized for its specific functional requirements. Functionally, joints are classified by the amount of movement they allow. Synarthrosis are immovable joints, like the sutures in the skull, providing strong protection. Amphiarthrosis are slightly movable joints, such as those between vertebrae, offering both stability and limited flexibility. Diarthrosis, or synovial joints, are freely movable joints, like the knee or shoulder, characterized by a joint cavity containing synovial fluid. These joints allow for a wide range of motion and are the most common type in the body, facilitating complex movements through their specialized structures, including articular cartilage, joint capsules, and ligaments. Muscle tissue types and functions. Muscle tissue is a fundamental tissue type responsible for movement throughout the body, characterized by its ability to contract. This contraction is driven by the interaction of specialized proteins, actin and myosin, within muscle cells. The three distinct types of muscle tissue, skeletal, cardiac, and smooth, each possess unique structural and functional characteristics tailored to their specific roles. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for comprehending how the body generates force and performs various movements, from locomotion to internal organ function. Skeletal muscle is typically attached to bones and is responsible for voluntary movements, posture, and heat generation. It is characterized by its striated appearance and multiple nuclei. Cardiac muscle, found exclusively in the heart, is also striated but is involuntary, meaning it contracts without conscious control, forming the walls of the heart to pump blood. Smooth muscle, located in the walls of internal organs, like the digestive tract, blood vessels, and airways, is non-striated and involuntary, controlling processes such as digestion, blood pressure, and airflow. Each type plays a vital, distinct role in maintaining bodily functions. Skeletal muscle anatomy. Skeletal muscles are complex organs composed of muscle tissue, connective tissue, blood vessels, and nerves. Each muscle is surrounded by a connective tissue sheath called the epimysium, which encloses bundles of muscle fibers known as fascicles. Each fascicle is wrapped by peronesium, and individual muscle fibers within a fascicle are surrounded by endomysium. This hierarchical organization provides structural support, allows for the transmission of contractile forces, and ensures proper innervation and blood supply to the muscle cells. Understanding these layers is crucial for appreciating how muscles function as integrated units. Within each muscle fiber, myofibrils, which are bundles of contractile proteins, are the key functional units. Myofibrils are composed of repeating units called sarcomeres, the smallest contractile units of a muscle. Sarcomeres contain thick myosin and thin actin filaments arranged in a highly organized pattern, giving skeletal muscle its characteristic striated appearance. The sarcoplasmic reticulum, a specialized endoplasmic reticulum, stores and releases calcium ions essential for contraction, while T-tubules conduct electrical signals deep into the muscle fiber. These intricate structures work in concert to facilitate muscle contraction. Muscle contraction and movement. Skeletal muscle contraction is initiated by a nerve impulse transmitted from a motor neuron to a muscle fiber at the neuromuscular junction. This impulse triggers the release of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter, which binds to receptors on the muscle fiber membrane, causing depolarization. This electrical signal, an action potential, propagates along the sarcolemma and into the T-tubules, signaling the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release stored calcium ions. This intricate signaling cascade is essential for converting electrical signals into mechanical force, enabling movement. The released calcium ions bind to troponin, causing a conformational change that moves tropomyosin away from the actin binding sites. This uncovers the binding sites, allowing myosin heads to attach to actin, forming cross bridges. The myosin heads then pivot, pulling the actin filaments towards the center of the sarcomere, a process known as the power stroke. ATP provides the energy for this cycle of attachment, pivoting, and detachment, leading to the shortening of the sarcomere and ultimately muscle contraction. This sliding filament model explains how muscles generate force and produce movement, illustrating a remarkable biological mechanism. Organization of the nervous system. The nervous system is the body's primary control and communication system, responsible for coordinating all voluntary and involuntary actions. It is broadly divided into two main parts: the central nervous system, CNS, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS. This organizational structure allows for efficient processing of information and rapid responses to stimuli. The CNS acts as the command center, integrating sensory information and initiating motor commands, while the PNS serves as the communication link, transmitting signals to and from the CNS. Understanding this fundamental division is crucial for grasping the nervous system's vast capabilities. The central nervous system, CNS, consists of the brain and spinal cord, enclosed within the skull and vertebral column, respectively. It is responsible for higher-level functions such as thought, memory, emotion, and complex motor control. The peripheral nervous system, PNS, includes all the nervous tissue outside the CNS, comprising nerves that extend from the brain and spinal cord to the rest of the body. The PNS is further subdivided into the sensory afferent division, which carries information to the CNS, and the motor efferent division, which carries commands from the CNS to muscles and glands. The motor division is further divided into the somatic nervous system, voluntary control, and the autonomic nervous system, involuntary control, demonstrating the system's incredible complexity and specialization. Neurons and neuroglia. Neurons, the fundamental functional units of the nervous system, are specialized cells designed to transmit electrical signals, known as nerve impulses or action potentials. Each neuron typically consists of a cell body, soma, which contains the nucleus and most organelles, and two types of processes, dendrites and an axon. Dendrites are short, branching extensions that receive incoming signals from other neurons, acting like antennae. The axon is a single, long extension that transmits signals away from the cell body to other neurons, muscles, or glands. This unique structure allows for rapid and directed communication across vast distances within the body. Neuroglia, or glial cells, are non-excitable supporting cells that outnumber neurons and play crucial roles in maintaining the nervous system's environment and function. In the CNS, astrocytes provide structural support and regulate the chemical environment. Oligodendrocytes form myelin sheaths around axons. Microglia act as immune cells, and ependymal cells line cavities. In the PNS, Schwann cells form myelin around axons, and satellite cells surround neuron cell bodies. These diverse glial cells protect, nourish, insulate, and assist neurons, ensuring optimal conditions for nerve impulse transmission and overall nervous system health. Their collective functions are indispensable for neural activity. Central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. The central nervous system, CNS, is the command center of the body, consisting of the brain and spinal cord. The brain, housed within the skull, is an incredibly complex organ responsible for thought, emotion, memory, sensory processing, and motor control. It integrates vast amounts of information, allowing for conscious awareness, decision-making, and the initiation of all voluntary actions. Different regions of the brain are specialized for particular functions, working in concert to produce our complex behaviors and experiences. Its intricate neural networks are the foundation of our consciousness. The spinal cord, extending from the brainstem down the vertebral column, serves as the main communication pathway between the brain and the rest of the body. It transmits sensory information from the periphery to the brain and carries motor commands from the brain to muscles and glands. Additionally, the spinal cord is responsible for mediating reflexes, rapid involuntary responses to stimuli that do not require direct brain involvement. Both the brain and spinal cord are protected by meninges, 3 layers of connective tissue, and cerebrospinal fluid, which cushions them from physical shock and provides nourishment, highlighting their critical importance for survival. Peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system, PNS, comprises all the nervous tissue outside the brain and spinal cord, acting as the communication link between the CNS and the rest of the body. It consists of nerves, ganglia, clusters of neuron cell bodies, and sensory receptors. The PNS is crucial for transmitting sensory information from the body's periphery to the CNS, and relaying motor commands from the CNS to muscles and glands. This extensive network allows the CNS to receive input about the external and internal environment, and to orchestrate appropriate responses, facilitating our interaction with the world. The PNS is functionally divided into the sensory, afferent division and the motor, efferent division. The sensory division carries impulses from sensory receptors, for example, in the skin, muscles, organs, to the CNS, providing information about touch, pain, temperature, and body position. The motor division transmits impulses from the CNS to effector organs, muscles, and glands, initiating movement or secretion. The motor division is further subdivided into the somatic nervous system, which controls voluntary movements of skeletal muscles, and the autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary functions of internal organs, demonstrating the PNS's diverse and vital roles in maintaining homeostasis and enabling interaction with the environment. Endocrine glands and hormones. The endocrine system is a crucial regulatory system that works alongside the nervous system to maintain homeostasis. It consists of endocrine glands, which produce and secrete chemical messengers called hormones directly into the bloodstream. Unlike exocrine glands that secrete into ducts, Endocrine glands are ductless, allowing hormones to travel throughout the body and act on distant target cells. This system regulates a wide range of bodily functions, including metabolism, growth, reproduction, mood, and stress responses. The precise control exerted by hormones is vital for overall health and well-being. Hormones are powerful chemical substances that exert specific effects on target cells or organs. They can be classified based on their chemical structure, such as steroid hormones, derived from cholesterol, e.g. estrogen, testosterone, or non-steroid hormones, amino acid-based, e.g. insulin, growth hormone. Hormones bind to specific receptors on or in target cells, initiating a cascade of events that alter cellular activity. The endocrine system employs feedback loops, primarily negative feedback, to regulate hormone secretion, ensuring that hormone levels remain within a narrow, optimal range. This intricate regulatory mechanism prevents over- or under-secretion, maintaining physiological balance. Major endocrine glands. Several major endocrine glands play critical roles in regulating bodily functions. The pituitary gland, often called the master gland, is located at the base of the brain and secretes hormones that control other endocrine glands, such as growth hormone and thyroid-stimulating hormone. The thyroid gland in the neck produces thyroid hormones that regulate metabolism and calcium homeostasis. The parathyroid glands, usually 4 small glands on the posterior surface of the thyroid, secrete parathyroid hormone, which is vital for regulating blood calcium levels. These glands demonstrate the hierarchical control within the endocrine system. The adrenal glands, located atop the kidneys, produce hormones like adrenaline, epinephrine, and cortisol, involved in stress response and metabolism. The pancreas, an organ with both endocrine and exocrine functions, secretes insulin and glucagon, which are crucial for regulating blood glucose levels. The gonads, testes in males, ovaries in females, produce sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen, essential for reproduction and secondary sexual characteristics. Each of these glands contributes uniquely to maintaining the body's complex physiological balance, highlighting the diverse and integrated nature of the endocrine system's regulatory functions. Blood composition and function. Blood is a vital fluid connective tissue that circulates throughout the body, performing numerous essential functions. It is composed of a liquid extracellular matrix called plasma and formed elements, which include red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Blood's primary roles include transporting oxygen from the lungs to tissues and carbon dioxide from tissues to the lungs, delivering nutrients from the digestive system to cells, and carrying hormones from endocrine glands to target organs. This continuous circulation is critical for maintaining cellular life and overall bodily homeostasis. Red blood cells, erythrocytes, are responsible for oxygen transport, containing hemoglobin, which binds to oxygen. White blood cells, leukocytes, are part of the immune system, defending the body against pathogens and foreign invaders. Platelets, thrombocytes, are cell fragments crucial for blood clotting, preventing excessive blood loss. Plasma, the watery matrix, transports dissolved substances like proteins, electrolytes, nutrients, hormones, and waste products. The intricate composition of blood allows it to perform its diverse roles in transport, protection, and regulation, making it indispensable for life. Heart anatomy and circulation. The heart is a muscular pump located in the mediastinum of the thoracic cavity, slightly to the left of the midline. Its primary function is to propel blood throughout the body, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach all tissues and waste products are removed. The heart is divided into 4 chambers, 2 atria, receiving chambers, and 2 ventricles, pumping chambers. A septum divides the heart longitudinally, preventing the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. This efficient, 4-chambered design is crucial for maintaining a high metabolic rate and supporting complex life forms. Blood circulates through 2 main pathways, the pulmonary circuit and the systemic circuit. In the pulmonary circuit, deoxygenated blood is pumped from the right side of the heart to the lungs. where it picks up oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Oxygenated blood then returns to the left side of the heart. In the systemic circuit, oxygenated blood is pumped from the left side of the heart to all body tissues, delivering oxygen and nutrients. Deoxygenated blood then returns to the right side of the heart. Heart valves ensure unidirectional blood flow, preventing backflow and maintaining efficient circulation, demonstrating the remarkable engineering of this vital organ. Blood vessels and blood pressure. Blood vessels form a vast network throughout the body, transporting blood to and from the heart. There are three main types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to the body's tissues, branching into smaller arterioles. Veins carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart from the tissues, collecting blood from venules. Capillaries are the smallest and most numerous vessels, forming a microscopic network where the exchange of gases, nutrients, and waste products occurs between blood and tissue cells. This intricate vascular system ensures efficient delivery and removal of substances. Blood pressure is the force exerted by blood against the walls of blood vessels, crucial for driving blood circulation. It is typically measured as systolic pressure during ventricular contraction over diastolic pressure during ventricular relaxation. Factors influencing blood pressure include cardiac output, amount of blood pumped by the heart, peripheral resistance, resistance to blood flow in vessels, blood volume, and vessel elasticity. The nervous and endocrine systems regulate blood pressure through complex feedback mechanisms, ensuring adequate blood flow to all organs while preventing damage to blood vessels. Maintaining healthy blood pressure is vital for cardiovascular health and overall well-being.